We didn't plan to start this podcast like this. Not with silence, not with distance, not with me sitting alone behind this mic, trying to find the words to talk about something we almost didn't come back from. But here we are. Not at the beginning, not at the end, but somewhere inside the evolution. Welcome to Love Evolution, Alchemy in Action. For now, it's just me, but this isn't a solo story. This is a love story. It's about the magic, it's about the mess, the unraveling, the rebuilding. It's about a man who loved me and then broke and then came back. And it's about me, still healing, still choosing, still trying to love bravely even after everything. In this first episode, I want to take you into the storm with me. Not because I love drama, though let's be honest, life has served plenty of it, but because I know someone listening might be in their own storm right now, wondering if the love they once believed in can survive what's happened. Let me tell you what happened to ours. 2024 broke us open. He lost not one, but two coworkers. Sudden traumatic losses that left him unraveling. I watched the man I love slip into a darkness I couldn't pull him out of. He spiraled, emotionally and mentally. At one point, he was on another island trying to catch himself, as he put it. I offered a separation. Not because I didn't love him, but because I didn't know how else to help us breathe. He refused. He said he didn't want that. But then came the meltdowns, the crash, a moment that endangered our family. I drew a line and told him he couldn't come back home right now. And that's when everything fractured. What followed was 9 months apart. Well, maybe 7, because 2 of those months we were back together. Not apart like on a break, not apart like someone traveling for work. Apart like he's gone and I don't know if we'll ever be whole again. But somehow still we weren't disconnected. It was like a bond that kept tugging even in the middle of all the wreckage. He thought I was breaking up with him. I thought he was running. There were phone calls, texts, stretches of silence, grief, guilt, fury, moments of hope tangled up in disappointment. And yet, somewhere in the chaos, we both heard the whisper, "It's not over." When I showed up where he was, unannounced, I didn't know what to expect. I was terrified, worn out, but I missed him. We spent 3 nights together, chemistry undeniable, but sadness thick in the air. It wasn't a fix, it wasn't a fairy tale reunion, but it was a flicker. I made plans for him to come and see us again during our daughter's midterm break. That trip was rough. There was a moment that frightened me, but in that I saw effort. I saw him trying. I felt him missing us. He said he'd never return permanently to the island we called home. Shame had wrapped around him like chains. I didn't beg. I didn't force it. But slowly the calls changed. The anger faded. The man I loved was making his way back. Spoiler, he's home now. Here we are now, figuring it out. There are times I still catch myself holding my breath. Not because I don't love him, but because trusting again and relaxing into his presence again feels like standing on a cliff edge, waiting to be pushed over or pulled back. And yet, there's date nights. There are cuddles, kisses, conversations that no longer end in explosions. There's effort, intent, touch. It's awkward sometimes, it's sweet most of the time, but above all else, it's real. This podcast, it's our journey, not just the polished, pretty parts, not just the highlight reels, but the raw, soul level process of alchemy, turning this mess into a meaning. In upcoming episodes, he will join me. We'll talk about what it's like to fall apart inside a long term committed relationship, what it means to show up even after betrayal, confusion, and chaos. We'll talk about trauma, about triggers, about love that hurts and love that heals. And we won't shy away from the hard questions. In fact, we're going to sit with them together. And if you're listening to this thinking, whew, I've been there, I'm there now. I want to offer you something gentle to start with. I've created a journal experience called Connecting the Dots. It's a free starter workbook and the first video in a 4-part series where I sit down with experts to explore what's underneath our patterns, pain, and choices in love. It's not a magic fix, but it is a map. Back to yourself, back to your truth, back to what matters most when everything else falls apart. You can download that free sneak peek and watch the first expert conversation using the link in the show notes. This is Love Evolution, where healing is not linear, where love is not always soft, but where miracles still happen even in the midst of the mess. If this touched something in you, stick around. Episode 2 is coming soon, and he will be with me. Until then, hold yourself gently. You're not broken. You're evolving.